Morning, folks. I'm super excited about something that it's nothing new, but it's something that I'm discovering for myself. And it's basically the concept of ecstatic dance journeying, but reiterating and relaying the story again, like reenacting the story. And I've never done that before. I've never done that before. And I was really fascinated by the process of let's back up. I'm an ecstatic dancer. What I found in ecstatic dance kind of stems from my qigong natural form dances that I have been doing for like 20 years. And those dances really informed me on energies in my body, somatic therapy and healing and like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a spiritual, mental, heart kind of practice. So yeah, and then falling into ecstatic dance was just like a natural progression for me. So in ecstatic dance, I would do journeying, and it just happened. Like it just naturally happened. Was and I didn't call it journeying. I don't remember what I called it, but it was just like all of a sudden I just felt this like uh, complete vulnerability and expansiveness, and just like an emptiness here, an emptying of here, of me, my ego, my body, and just like, what else is there? Where's the threshold? Where's the limits? And there isn't any. And so like reaching out into that and saying, what wants to dance with me? Like I actually practice like a form of animism and like shamanism and that sort of thing for myself. Um so yeah, reaching out there and then having something come back and dancing with that and learning from it. So there's a ton there. It's like endless. Like nearly every time I would have some amazing thing happen. And like a lot of insight was brought in. That insight is now like part of my body because I moved to it and I felt it. And then yeah, it just sort of solidified and grounded itself in my body. And so what ecstatic dance journeying does is like, it's not only just like storytelling, but it also creates a lot of empathy for like the other. So you get like a perspective of like another thing, and then once that's like understood through you, you expand further and you have more empathy for like various aspects of being. Yeah. Okay. So with Nephthys, the Egyptian goddess, I was really like, I read a little bit about her, not a whole lot. It was like a wiki page. Like I just read through the wiki page and was like, okay, this is the general feel of who she is. This is kind of what she's about. And I'm just gonna like put on some music and that I feel like could kind of bring out that energy. And so I put that on and then I started dancing and I was like, ooh, like I just sort of, I closed my eyes and I just like felt right into it. Like the energy was right there. I didn't have to try for this. It wasn't like, oh, there's layers and layers of something in the way. There was nothing in the way. I literally just like dove into it and was in a landscape. And I wrote about it on my blog. So you can kind of see what I'm seeing there. But in that dance, I didn't record it or anything. It's literally just me like, whoa, like figuring out like, where am I? What is this space? And I'm kind of asking questions and but not asking questions. Like it's like an in-between thing. Like I'm noticing and I'm like just flowing, but I'm also like, okay, what do I do with this thing? How do I engage with this? Who am I if I'm on the ground and I'm feeling like this? And then it's like, oh, I feel like I could be a scorpion. And those feelings, it's not literally like, oh, I'm grabbing a spirit of scorpion and like making it part of me. I'm actually just dancing, and then I'm like, I feel like a scorpion. I feel like a snake. And then I was like, oh, and those are the two animal energies that I've felt into, and was like, okay, they're going to be my guides for this journey. And so I honor them with my body and with my spirit, I guess. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to dance with these as like part of my journey, right? And so I invite that energy in, and then just sort of like play with it and see what wants to be expressed there. And so that's part of that. What I realized in the storytelling aspect is that when I was done, and I was like, wow, that was really fucking cool. Like there was so much there. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And I loved it. And I can't wait to do more. But here's the fun part. I was like, I want to record this and I want to show it to people. So I set up the camera, and then I had played the song, and I kind of got a feel of like where the certain aspects were. And then I broke down the journey into like different segments, because I was like, okay, this part of the journey was definitely like this. This was like this felt like this. And I just sort of broke it and it happened very quickly. Like I just like broke it into segments because it was like so powerful. So I broke it into segments, and then I was listening to the music. It didn't take long to like do something that I felt resembled the journey, right? So like if you were to see the original dance, it probably wouldn't have made sense in a way for you to understand the story. And so I think that's where I'm going with dance. I think that's where I'm going with my expression, is like, how do I convey my journeys so that people can like read it, so that people can see it and feel it and like know it. And so this is ancient. This is ancient. Like it's an ancient storytelling method. And I love that I'm a storyteller. I didn't know that I was, but of course I am. I'm a writer. I'm illustrating a book and writing meditations and like just having a lot of fun with that. So storytelling, this is my method of storytelling that I think is like just like part of me. It's a huge part of me. So that's the storytelling, that's Nephthys, and that's a little bit about like, okay, in the portrayal of like grabbing up a spirit and like making them part of me, that's not actually how that happens for me. It's really just like I'm like moving around, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm a scorpion, and it's like, what? It's so like that's like a lot of fun, because I'm literally just like moving around and then just like falling into stuff, and it's like fucking fantastic. But so it's more like concise. The storytelling is more concise, or I'm trying to be anyways. This is new. This is new for me. So I'm exploring this as an artist. I'm exploring this as a storyteller. And I'm also exploring this for my own like spiritual journey, because most everything is kind of related to that anyways. So yeah, if you see any more of those videos that are like, you know, a particular, like if it looks like ecstatic dance or journeying or something like that, it's almost like a reenactment. It's not going to be the first like original. If you want to see originals, you have to be like in person and like experience that and ecstatic dance in Salt Lake City. So like that's where I go usually, or like at my house. But I'm actually going tomorrow, and I'm so excited. So I can't wait to see what's there. But after ecstatic dance, like during ecstatic dance, like if I fall into a journey, I'm like journaling. Like I go to my journal and I write it out, and I'm like, what is this? Sometimes I don't know why I had embodied like I was mica one time, a rock in a stream, and all of this water was like flowing past me, and I was like sending out these sparkly bits of myself, and I was like kind of becoming eroded away over time. And I was like, what does this even mean? And there was like a song that came on, and I was like, oh, it was like about this mountain that was giving to the land and like kind of eroding away. And I was like, oh, energy disbursement and like different things. And then it sort of like unfolded very symbolically. So there is a lot of symbolism. Sometimes things will show up and they'll just like, I just have like a feeling, or something will say a thing that it's not really a stereotypical or traditional story of that animal, plant, or rock spirit. And so it's nothing that I could Google. It's like I can't Google it and be like, what does this mean? Sometimes it's literally just like them coming in and saying, here's the thing. And I'm like, what? And it's like mind blowing. And it doesn't have, yeah, like I can't search it. Like it's a symbolism that I have to like sit with and find and feel into and be like, what is this saying to me? So I've been doing that for a long time. And yeah, so like during ecstatic dance, I'll run to my journal and like scribble out all this stuff and then just like, oh my God, and then like fall into it. But I have like a whole method of like how I do ecstatic dance, journeying especially. And I'm not the only one. There's a ton of us out there. So if you're like, Amanda, you're a little cray cray, no, not at all. There's tons of us out there. And have fun with it. If you feel called to that and you're like, this is interesting, you do not have to do drugs. You don't have to drink. You literally just show up as your person. Bring a lot of water, drink a lot of water. It is hours of dancing. So that's ecstatic dance. That's ecstatic dance journeying. That's where I'm going as a dance artist and how I want to do storytelling. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to be like fucking old and telling stories and shit.